Welcome back to our YouTube channel. I am Gogo Khanyakude Mabuza Mshengu Shabalala Lupanabu. For those of you coming into this channel for the first time, welcome. Namugelekile. Please don't forget to subscribe, click on the notification bell, and also to follow me on all our other social media platforms, which we are available on as Gogo_Khanyakude. On today's video, I'm going to be doing my very first story time. Clink, clink. So the story I'm going to share is around the first time actually in Vuamadudi. Already. So this was in 2013. I had been going through my spiritual awakening unbeknownst to me until I started to intuitively get messages that I actually have a calling. So I came back home. Those of you who don't know, home for me is in Nelspruit and Bombela. And I came home to try and figure out what was going on. At that time, my mom was a member of a church which is called Izayon or Riposto, where they will wear blue and white, right? So as part of her church, every Wednesday they used to have psalm meetings or ma'amen hosted at my home. So during that time, I wanted absolutely nothing to do with church or religion. Like it was lahla yega yonke into. So every Wednesday when they would be having the church meetings, my mom would always want me to come and participate. You guys know Busi Bomage Banjan, right? And I had a friend who lived close to here. So always around an hour before the church service would start, I would always go and hang out with my friend. And I was a big stoner at that time. So we'd go, we'd blaze, anything to get away from having to be in that space. So this one Wednesday, lo and behold, I lost track of time. And I find myself where? At home when all the church members come. And as much as I was rebellious, I still had that thing of Wuti, I can't walk out when all the church members are here, even the pastor will be saying, so I was like, it's just one Wednesday. I'll tolerate it. I'll live through it. So we used to sit in the lounge area and there was a dining table there. So they sit and I'm now seated. If you can imagine that the dining table is at the center and they're all seated around the table, and I was literally sitting at the corner on a chair where I was there, but clearly also showing that I'm not going to take any part. Ain't nobody got time for that. So they have the sermon, they sing, and towards the end, anyone who's been to any African Zionist churches knows that when they about to wrap up, when they do the prayers, there's always messages that come from spirit. And the strangest thing happened. I got this sense that this gent is going to call me and say that I need prayer. Just as I finished that thought, he calls me and he says, as I get up, I also then get this thing that he is going to say that you have a calling. And then he starts praying. As he's praying, then he starts by passing on the message that, no, I have a calling, Nemadloti, and I carry one of my great-great-grandfathers from my paternal side who was Ilgedla, somebody who was gifted with the understanding of medicine. And at the time, because I was really struggling to finish varsity and everything, he then says that no, what we can do is that because there are also other prophetic gifts that you carry, you can come through to the church, and what we'll try and do is we'll try and convert your gift to isithunywa or to moya, and in that also to try and uncenga or to appease the ancestors so that you can go back to varsity next year. Bear in mind that this is June, so for me it was like perfect. I'll be able to go back to varsity, I'll be able to get my life back on track, because I was the definition of mess. But that's a story for another day that we'll speak of on another day.
Oh, that's right, Henry. I know that's right. I know that's right.
The day Saturday, where we have to go to the church. We go there, and usually on Saturday is the day where they do ritual prayers and there's intention. So Apostol, what they have is that they have siakelo or diachelo, which is basically like a sweat lodge. And what you do is that first, before you go to the sweat lodge, you sit in circle and you sing, you get emoyen, or you get into spirit. Spirit while they are preparing the sweat lodge. Let me describe now also the things that they use for the sweat lodge. They take literally a train track, right? And they heat it on fire. And that train track they then use to heat up the place, and also to be able to then futa or to steam for the sweat lodge. So as we're doing that, we're sitting, we're getting in spirit, and I really enjoy praise and worship. It's something that even to this day is one of my favorite gifts, that, having been somebody who subscribed to religiosity, that I hold on dearly to and I still connect with quite a lot. So we're singing, and then they prepare this bath that everyone must first take before you go into this futo or the sweat lodge. Okay, the bath is being prepared. Did I not itch like the world was ending?
And itch, also known as pruritus, is an annoying, unpleasant
So
sensation.
in my mind, I'm thinking, Wendagalanda, what is in here? What is this? And because I've got a very busy mind, I always like to understand things. So I asked them, one of the people, that, are you guys also experiencing this? And they're like, yeah, no, that's generally, how it feels. And in my mind, I was like, okay, umbone, umbete, phinde nibuye, qala uyibona lena, and it's gonna be the last time. So now,
I don't think he will come back again. It was not easy.
as we were about to go into the sweat lodge, I was on this photo. There was one of the pastors also who was there. This handsome gent also, I've forgotten what his surname is. And he starts speaking to me and connecting and saying that, no, also he had the calling, and it derailed his life. And when he came through church and gave it expression through Stunya and Moya, how his life has gotten, back on track and everything. And he says that he will go in with me into the sweat lodge. And he explains that masingena phakathi kulesi futo. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to go inside. We'll start by singing. When we're done singing, we will start praying. So this house, if you can imagine it, is like a little doll house, if I could put it like that. So you have to like guga in the entrance to go in. I see a guga, we go in. Inside, there's a hole at the center where now this train track has been put inside. I get in and I sit closest towards the door, because also I'm a bit like, oh, skur, yin lena le endakalayo. He then comes and he sits then closer towards where the hole is. And as he starts, we start singing. I remember the song that we were singing at that time was Ebabe ungithumale siyaya, ungithumale siyaya, ungithumale na siyaya, ungithumale na siyaya. I'm like, at that point, I'm like, yes, this is so much fun. Because I love singing. I really love singing, even though I ain't no, Grammy-worthy singer, but Spirit really speaks to me through song. And then as we then start, he says, okay, now we are going to begin and we're going to pray. So he is carrying this jug, if you'd imagine, that has water. And he says to me, pray. So I don't want to close my eyes and not see what is going on. So I'm like to him, okay, I'll pray, but can we start? He takes this water now and he literally drops about like 2 drops. The steam just went shh. So I'm sitting and I'm like, this is a bit uncomfortable. This is a bit hot. And then he says, let us start to pray. So we start praying. As we're in prayer, he's really, getting emphatic. Like, I didn't know that then, but now I understand. And he's also still gradually carrying on to drop a couple of droplets onto this, train track. And then I suddenly start to be distracted from my prayer. And I say to him, Babe, Gashi Salana. And he's like, give me. I kubega utandaze, carry on praying.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
I try, I carry on praying, and he adds a bit more drops into it. The heat intensifies. At this point, it's shifting from being uncomfortable to where now I'm starting to experience a certain level of pain. And I have a very high pain threshold. So once again, I break from my prayer and I say to him, Babe, yeah, she's Alana. And he says to me, no, it's because Moya, so we are figure langa parats.
What a joke, my darling.
Do you not want to go back, to varsity? Do you not want for things to be well and to flow again in your life? Obviously, this is 2013. I left for first year in varsity in 2009 and still dololo degree. Obviously, I want things to be well, especially having been, a top 20 student, having been a very dedicated, intelligent boy. I'm just like, okay, if this is what I need to do, I will do it.
Yeah, Panangantons. Okay. How you do?
I go back into prayer. Asking him loyal, our Father, God, saying all of these beautiful things. And he adds a bit more of the water and he drops it. Let me actually take a sip. At this point, the pain has gone from 0 to 75 real quick. And I'm now trapped lying Flogoyami with the thing of Wuzi. Okay, I want to run out of this space. But because we are in church, they may say to me, Wuzi, no, you have a demonic spirit on Janjan.
You guys, I don't want to be here no more. I know we're all very emotionally drained from being here. We're probably just gonna leave. You guys.
So I keep steady praying. But then Valana inside me, it's like, if I could describe the heat to you. Firstly, on my skin, it was like I felt as though the skin was peeling off of me. On another layer, I feel as though my blood is going boo, 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 boo. And then in my bones, the bone marrow, langa phakathi, I also feel as though my bones are also cracking and that bone marrow is also boiling inside. So I was experiencing this heat on 3 levels. And I'm just like to him, Hayi, kuyashisa lana. Kuyashisa, keep and keep and keep and keep and keep and keep and keep it. At that point, I want to get up. He grabs onto me and he goes into prayer. And he's holding onto me and he's just like, stand, just moya, we are figure, stand, stand, stand. Was it not me, like, feeling as though I have been unlocked into Hell's Gate, saying pussy were pagats as hogway. Bitch! Oh! To next thing, we are there, we are in this photo. I'm in a kneeling position, like by the entrance, and my mom is standing over me, and she's literally just like, oh, mntwana munemadloti Gogo.
Kumatima, guys.
And I'm just like, what is going on? How did I get here? What just happened? So, to then only get told, Guti, no, what happened is while you were in prayer, did your doses not just manifest? Bapume. Kwaqala waphuma the Nguni ancestors. And they were just like, hold up. Nenda la. Ngoba, Law has been telling you, Guti, he has the calling. And the funega ahambe ayogo Thwasa. So we see you coming through with all of these little interventions, trying to convert us into Moya. But that is not going to happen. Never you, never for me. And also, they had a lot of, in Tlamba, they were just spitting bars in Tlamba. After that, when the Nguni ancestors had retreated, then the Mzawe also then came out and was there speaking. You know, in that moment when they told me and they caught me up to what was going on, I literally looked at everyone, I looked at the space, and I got up and I was like, yes! At last! Finally! Proof and confirmation of Guti, I actually have the calling. Proof that I actually, have to go and Thwasa.
That's what we've been waiting for! It's what we wanted all!
And I had already met the person who I had intuitively felt that this is my Kobela. I've seen the place where and been there physically where I was like, this is where I was going to go and Thwasa. So for me, immediately when that was said, I was like to my mom on our way back home, okay, it's Saturday now, and I would like to be out of here as soon as possible, as soon as next week. I want to go and be a Pehlweni. And my mom was just like, no, wait, there's so many things that we still need to align, we need to fix and everything. But that moment for me was so beautiful because that was the first time it was acknowledged. And from that moment, that was when, I started to get introduced into how to do things properly. Because from there, I had to first go to my father's side of the family and go and then bigwa lapho, to go and inform the ancestors there, go to my father's grave, go to my grandmother's grave, let them know, see, this is what's going on. When I got back also, then there was msebendi that was done for me, which was basically the cooking of mkomboti. The elders also coming to my home, and then partly wakubigiwa. We spoke then to my ugobela laba sembanzini yami to let them know and find out what were the things that we needed to bring. And within that, a space of 3 weeks of that happening, I was in Ephetweni, and that is how my journey began. And every single time when I go back to thinking around, Wusi, how did this happen? The words that always comes back is the last thing I remember is that ya shi sa lana. Yo, this is my first story time that I'm doing, and I hope that it's given you a chance to get to know me better, to get to know how it is that I've gotten to the place where I'm at. As always, I'd like to hear your comments, your feedback as to whether you'd like for me to do more story times like this, sharing more of my Lozi experiences, because I particularly want to do story times where I share around Lozi experiences or experiences I've had pre-Thwasa, during Thwasa, after Thwasa, but of course not speaking about things which are sacred, but the things within which I feel can share for other people to also relate, and for what's stake ngoba like yo siyahlekisa this story manje sicabanga. And to everyone watching for the first time, and to those who are watching, please do not forget to click on the subscribe button, to switch on the notification bell, and to also follow us on all our other social media platforms as Gogo_Khanyakude. Thank you so much, Gogo Khanyakude, Mabuza Mshengu Shabalala, Lopanago. Have a beautiful, beautiful one.